Okay, so hi. So I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup looks over New Year's. I'm like recording this mad like so much later. Um, like way after New Year's. It's like the 21st of January right now. But in order for me to be able to post the video, I have to tell you guys my makeup look then. Sorry, I'm like kind of coughing. So over New Year's, this was my look, and I will, well, this was my look for going down to my friend's house. And I will obviously insert clips of the, makeup looks for you guys. And then, I will tell you guys my look for actual New Year's, and then these are some of the photos and stuff. So I'll tell you guys both of them. So the first one, I wore a Doctor Who TARDIS dress. And me and my boyfriend went down to Connecticut to see my best friend because we had tickets to see John Oliver because my best friend's boyfriend loves John Oliver. So, and plus me and Josh love John Oliver as well. So we were planning to go down to Connecticut to see her, to go to the show. And I visited her about twice this past year. And I've been seeing her actually back on the island because she's been back on the island for a while this past week or two. So for my look, I wore the Doctor Who Cosmic like TARDIS dress. So I remember the makeup that I did because I just remember what I did because I just remember the products. Because usually, like, if I record like this late, I wouldn't usually remember. Let's stop rambling. I know I sound like a retard sometimes. So I primed my face with the Smashbox Primer Water and the Stila One Step Corrector, and then I went in with the Lancome Taint Idol 24-Hour Makeup. I think this was one of the first or second times I tried out the foundation, and I was like obsessed with it. And I remember when I was going down to Connecticut, I had only done my eye makeup, and then when I came to her house, I did my face makeup because I didn't want to wear my full face of makeup in the car. I just wanted to keep my face makeup off until I got to her. And then we both got ready. But I knew that my eyes always take the longest, so I just wanted to do my eyes when I was home. And also the lighting's better in my own bathroom than like when I go anywhere else because I'm able to go like right up to the mirror to see my makeup because that's what I need to do for like my eyeshadow and stuff because I'm like blind. So so is the shade, I believe I used the shade 215 and which was one of the neutral shades, but I think I exchanged it for a different shade after that because I wanted to get it from Ulta, not Sephora, for the discount. And then I concealed with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer in the color Fair Warm, and that was the only concealer I brought with me to Connecticut because I really wanted to use it. And then I set my face, I believe, with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. Yeah, and I did bring that with me to Connecticut, and that ended up getting ruined, which was really stupid for me to bring that because the pan was already split because I had used it down to the pan, and then the pan ended up splitting, so I kind of damaged it myself, but it's really okay. And then I primed my eyes with the MAC Prep & Prime in 24-Hour Extended Eye Base, and then went over that with the same powder, and then I went in with the Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette, and I used a few of those shades, so I'm pretty sure I went all over the eyes with the shade Bone. Then I went in with Suede in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Velvet, and then I used the black shade on the outer corners, which, let me just grab it. It's literally right here in front of me, so might as well just grab it. I don't know why I try to test myself on what the colors are. Jet, which is the black shade. I love this palette. I use this palette so much. I told you guys my makeup look in this outfit. You probably won't see this lookbook for like another 2 weeks because I'm kind of behind on them. But I'm going to post it hopefully tonight. When you're seeing this video, I'm literally recording this the same night I'm posting it. So yeah, I used the shade Jet, and then I'm pretty sure I went in again with Bone or Linen on the brow one. I think I mixed the two together. And then for the lid shade, I used the Milk Makeup Eye Pigment in the shade Sesh because I told you guys in my Sephora haul that I really, really wanted to get like an eye pigment for New Year's, and I really wanted to use the blue one because obviously I was wearing a blue dress and it was so gorgeous. It lasted such an amazing amount of time. I love the Milk Makeup eye pigments. I'm kind of obsessed with them. They're beautiful. And then for the eyeliner, I originally went in with just the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeliner, but I needed to go over it with more of a liquid liner, so I went in with the NYX liquid liner, the matte liquid liner. And then I concealed under the eyes with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. And then I set that with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I'm pretty sure that was when I was still using the Laura Mercier or the e.l.f. Maybe it was the e.l.f. And then for the under eyes, I decided to go in with a glitter, and I used one of my best friend's glitters. Because she lets me borrow her makeup all the time, and I let her borrow mine. It's not like we contaminate stuff, and I don't think she ever really used some of this stuff before, because she doesn't wear makeup as much as I do, but she does have a really nice collection, or I've been making her get a really good collection, but she has like some Urban Decay stuff and a lot of Too Faced stuff. So she just have a couple of the Urban Decay Heavy Metal liners, and I borrowed her blue one, and I can't remember the shade name, so let me just look it up really quick. Why? Like, every time I look up something, it's never on the first page. Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner. I cannot talk. And it's in the shade. These are the newer ones, actually. It's definitely not in the shade Spandex. I think they're replacing some of the shades. I don't really know. Let me just actually look this up properly. Urban Decay Glitter Liners. Okay, so I think it's an older shade, but it was like the blue shade. I don't remember what the shade name is called. I'm sorry. I don't think it's called, maybe it is called Spandex. It's definitely not Gamma Ray. It was more of a navy blue, so maybe it was that one. I really don't know. I'm sorry. She has like 3 of them. She has like the white one, Midnight Cowboy, which of course I have. And I did bring Midnight Cowboy with me, but I wasn't able to use it, which I don't know why. I think I just didn't want to bother with putting on a glitter under my eyes again, which I wanted to do, but then I ended up not doing it. So I put that on the lower lash line. I thought it looked so cool. And then I think I also lined the waterline with black, but I can't remember if I did or not. And I think I just used my Maybelline gel liner, but it doesn't really look like I did do that. I think I just went in with the glitter liner. And then for the inner corners, I used the Jouer Skinny Dip palette because I did bring that with me and I was obsessed with it. And I used the shade Starlight on my inner corners, and I used that for both looks, and it looks so stunning. So I used that as the inner corner highlight. And I think I mixed it a little bit with Kat Von D's Tinsel from this palette as well, which is the silver metallic shade. And then for the contour, I used the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette because that's the only thing I brought with me. And I used the 2 lighter shades to contour, and then I used the white shade underneath. And then for the blush, I just brought a couple of MAC blushes with me, and those are the only blushes that I used. I think I used Melba and Margin. I just used the, I just brought a little Tarte palette with me, like the Tarte palette that I have for single shadows, and I put a couple of blushes in there, and I just brought 3 MAC blushes with me, because I was only staying for one night and one day, so I didn't need like a ton of makeup with me. I just needed makeup for New Year's. But that's why I did my eyeshadow before I got there, because I didn't want to bring this gigantic eyeshadow palette with me to Connecticut. That would be such a pain. So, and then for the highlight, I went in with the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, and I used the shades Blue Ice, and I think, what's the other blue? Sorry, I'm like the worst in the universe. Anastasia Moonchild. Moonchild Glow Kit, Blue Moon and Blue Ice, and a little bit of Star. And then I also topped it off with the Love Luxe Beauty highlighter in the shade What Mermaids Are Made Of. I used both of them. Because I'm crazy and I need like a shit ton of highlight. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Ethereal Light powder, and then I started everything with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And then I just filled in my brows with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and then set that with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara. And then for the lips, I primed them with the NYX Lip Primer, then I lined them with the Kat Von D lip liner in the shade, I'm pretty sure that's what I used. In the shade, oh no, actually I think I used Poison. I don't think I had that lip liner trio yet. No, I did because I used Milk Pigment, duh. I used the shade Homegirl from Kat Von D Everlasting Lip Liner Trio. And then I filled them in with the Makeup Monsters Liquid Lipstick in Redwood because that's my all-time favorite dark red lipstick. And now we're going to go into the second look. Alright, so for my New Year's look, which you just saw, I'm going to tell you guys what I used. So I wore like a white sweater, and then I wore like my Naudry earrings. I really wanted to wear hoops, but I couldn't find my hoops. I have like these really pretty silver hoops that I just couldn't find, so I just stuck with the Naudry ones. And I wore like this white Christmas, like not Christmassy sweater, but I just really wanted to wear this white sweater out that night. And then I wore like just black leggings and my Stuart Weitzman thigh-high boots, which I love. But I actually like didn't wear makeup most of this day because we didn't go out until like 4 or 5 p.m. because we needed to go eat something. And I didn't wear makeup until I went home to get ready to go out for New Year's. And this weekend, New Year's weekend, I was feeling like shit still because I was still sick from Christmas. I felt so shitty this night. I felt better when I had gotten home from John Oliver, but I was so nauseous like the entire weekend, and I really couldn't enjoy it. Like I felt so, it was awesome to see her and stuff, but I really wasn't getting enough sleep. We were going to sleep like at 4 or 5 a.m. anyway, and then I didn't really sleep at all. And I felt like shit on New Year's. We went to a karaoke club because we went out to eat at a sushi place, and then we came back to her house and we both got ready. And then we went to a karaoke club, and we were there for like 3 or 4 hours. And it was like an hour away from her house, which like everything in Connecticut is like an hour away. And I felt so shitty. Like I only had 2 drinks and I was feeling like shit. So anyway, I primed my face with the Smashbox Primer Water and the Stila One Step Corrector because the Stila One Step Corrector is like my favorite for long wear. And then I tested out the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation for the first time because I had just picked it up like 2 days before that, and I really wanted to test it out. So that's the only foundation I brought with me besides the Lancome one, but I really wanted to test this. So actually, maybe I wore the makeup, no, I wore the Lancome one for John Oliver, and I wore the Makeup Forever one for New Year's, and it looked really pretty. So I'm in the shade Y225, and then of course, like I said, I concealed with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer in the color Fair Warm, and then I set my face with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder, and then I primed my eyes with the MAC Prep and Prime, and then I set that with the same IT Cosmetics powder, and then I went in with the ColourPop Dream Street palette from Kathleen Lights, because this is when I had first gotten it and I was using it so much. I haven't used it in a little bit, but I love this palette so much, you guys. It's just because I've been testing out more single shadows, so I haven't been reaching for this as much. Because I love using like all the shades in here when I use it. So I just stuck with some of the mattes. I brought this, and then I brought I brought the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette with me, but then I just wanted some easy neutrals in the crease because I just really wanted the glitter to stand out. So I just used some of these neutral shades because this is such an easy palette to travel with because it's so small. So I used the shades, this shade, which is Magical, and then Shooting Star. This one I used a transition shade, and then Shooting Star I used as my crease shade, and then I used this shade as my defining shade, and that shade is called Potion. And then for the outer corners, I used this shade, which is called Elfish. And then I used the Jouer Skinny Dip palette, and I put one of the shades on my lid. At first, I used the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Liberty, because that's my favorite silver shadow of all time. So I always use that as a base. And then I went over it with the Magic Hour shade from Jouer, and it's one of my favorite palettes to use to go out, so I really wanted to use it for New Year's because I love it so much, and it's so much easier than like the Stila glitters because we had to get ready pretty quickly, and I got ready in like a half hour this time, which I was pretty impressed by because I never like only take a half hour. And then for the brow bone, I used just this shade from the Kathleen Lights palette, and this shade is called Moony, and that's pretty much everything from the palette. And then I just went in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeliner in black, and then I think I went over it again with the NYX liquid liner because I brought both of them with me. And then for the concealer, again, under my eyes is the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, where I keep on wanting to say Naked Skin. And then I set that with the e.l.f. HD powder, and then I highlighted the inner corners again with Starlight from Jouer, the Jouer Skin Aided palette. So I'm really glad I got to use that over New Year's because I just really wanted to use it. Because I don't use it as often as using like the Stila glitters with like neutral looks because those look really pretty actually. But I just really want to take advantage of using this palette when I went away. And then I just lined my waterline with the Maybelline gel liner in the shade Black. And then that was it. It's just because I didn't want to deal with putting glitter under my eyes, so whatever. And I got a ton of compliments from like really drunk girls and stuff. That they loved my makeup. This like one girl like came up to me at the club and she was like, "You can't be shy, you have to get up." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling well." And it's like, I don't know why I really listened to a complete stranger to get up and dance with, because she was like grinding on me and then grinding on my boyfriend, and I was like, yeah, no, can you go away? But since I was feeling so shitty, like I didn't really react to it. I was just like, yeah, I need to sit down. And then for the mascara, I went in with, I think, the Catrice Cosmetics mascara. I think that's the only one I brought with me. And then for the bronzer or contour, I went in with the same Kat Von D Shade and Light palette shades, with the two first shades to contour and then the lighter shade to clean it up. And then I went in with the MAC blushes in the shades Spring Sheen and Melba because they're the only two blushes I brought with me. And then for the highlight, I used the Ofra Beverly Hills highlighting wheel, and I used like the white shade and kind of like the pale gold shade, and I mixed those two together. It was so gorgeous. And I think I used a little bit of the Fenty Beauty highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. It was so gorgeous. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Ethereal Light powder. Then I started thing with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And then for the brows, again, NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and then set that with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara. And then for the lips, I primed them with the NYX Lip Primer. Then I lined them with the ColourPop Lipping Pencil in the shade Bossy. And then I filled them in with the YSL Matte Couture Liquid Lipstick that I hauled in my Sephora haul in the shade 1. It's just called the shade 1. And I literally only wore it on New Year's. And then I just thought that the lipstick was too expensive. So I ended up returning it when I came back from New Year's. Because it's like a $34 lipstick. Like, why do I need such an... Actually, it was more. I think it was like $38. So I ended up returning it. So yeah, that's it, guys. Bye. Okay, so hi. So I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I keep on slacking on these, you guys. So I only worked for like 2 hours today, and then I just recorded my Best in Beauty lip products. So that's the last one I have to record. So I'm pretty much tired of talking, and I need to eat something because I'm starving. But I just wanted to do this first so I can take my makeup off after this. So anyway, I just wore my Army camouflage hoodie to work today. And I only worked for 2 hours from 12 to 2 because it was so dead. So anyway, I primed my face with the NYX Dewy Skin Mist because I wanted to like try something different to like hydrate my face. So I wanted to see if that would work. So I've been using that lately so I don't have to use my Smashbox Primer Water all the time. And then I just went in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And then for the foundation, I went in with the Maybelline Better Skin Super Stay Foundation in the shade Ivory just because I really wanted to wear it today. And I still love this foundation. It's so beautiful on the skin. And then for concealer, I went in with the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage Concealer in the shade Porcelain, which I also love. And then I set everything with the NYX HD Finishing Powder. And then I primed my eyes with the MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Base, and then went over that with the same NYX powder. And then I just went in with Makeup Geeks Beaches and Cream as my transition shade. And then for the eyeshadow, I mostly went in entirely with the NYX Happy Birthday palette, and this was the palette that I got for the birthday gift at Ulta. So I went in with a couple of shades from here, and they don't have shade names, so I'm just going to point to them and tell you guys the shades that I used. So the first one I used is this really pretty orangey shade for my crease. Then I darken up the crease more with this medium tone brown. And then I use this kind of purpley tone brown shade on the outer corners. And then for my lid, I went in with the green shade, obviously because I'm wearing the army jacket, so I had to go in with some green. And then for the brow bone, I use this shade right here, which is a really pretty brow bone highlight, and that's it for the eyes. And then I concealed under my eyes with the Catrice Cosmetics Concealer, and then I set that with the e.l.f. HD Powder. And then I lined my waterline with the Maybelline Gel Skinny Liner in the shade Brown. And then I just went in with this shade on the lower lash line, which is this shade right here. And then for the inner corners, I use these two shades, which is this shade, and I just mixed those two together. But they kind of weren't enough for me, so I went in with the shade Voltage from Makeup Geek, one of the duochrome shadows. And then I went in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And that's it for the eyes. And then I bronze up the skin with the Kevyn Aucoin Capri bronzer, the Neo bronzer, which is from like the trio that I got from the sale makeup from Sephora. And then for the cheeks, I went in with the e.l.f. blush palette, and I just used the two nude shades, the nude brown and like the orangey shade. And then I highlighted with the Wet n Wild the Wet n Wild To Reflect Shimmer Palette in the shade Boozy Brunch, and I just love this highlight. It's so gorgeous. I'm happy that I wore it today. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Theory Light Powder. Then I started thing with the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. And then I just brushed through my brows with a spoolie and then set them with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara in the shade Light Medium. And then for my lips, I primed them with the NYX Lip Primer, then I lined them with the MAC Lip Pencil in the shade Subculture, and then I filled them in with the Makeup Geek Plush Lip Cream in the shade Jet Setter, just because I felt like wearing it today. And that's really it. You know what's funny is that, like, I usually only keep my makeup on for, like, a couple of hours now, and then I always take it off when I go to my boyfriend's house, because I feel like I just don't want to wear it anymore when I go to his house. And plus, like, since I wore it so much in school, I don't even know if I'm wearing makeup tomorrow, because I don't think I'm really going anywhere, since I decided to see him yesterday and I'm seeing him today. So I'm not sure if I'm really doing anything tomorrow, but I am doing something for the rest of the week, like every day. So, I'm just going to go take it off now. So yeah, that's it. Bye! Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I actually do really like how my makeup turned out today. I just put it on to go to my boyfriend's house because I just wanted to wear some makeup because I wasn't going to be wearing makeup today other than that. So we went to Taco Bell to eat something, and then we just went to Target to pick me up some gum because I just really needed some packs of gum. And then we went back to his house and we actually watched Godfather 2. But I'm actually still really, really hungry because we only got one of the $5 boxes and that was it. So I'm like starving right now. So I'm definitely going to eat something else. I think I'm just going to have like dessert or something. So anyway, I primed my face with the, I'm just in a really bad mood because I have my period and I feel like no one ever stops asking me where I am, and it just drives me crazy because I'm like a grown-ass woman, and it's just annoying that my parents are always asking me where I'm going. But it was like freezing rain tonight, but I still got up the driveway pretty okay. I didn't realize our driveway was going to get covered with like a little bit of snow because it really wasn't that bad like where my boyfriend's area was, so I didn't think it was going to be that bad. So, and then my boyfriend wasn't answering my texts, so I don't know, I just feel like I'm kind of like just annoying to everybody sometimes, and it just drives me crazy. So anyway, I primed my face with the NYX Dewy Skin Mist and the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I still think I need to hydrate with my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish, the Smashbox Primer Water. So but I've been wanting to use the Smashbox Primer more often, so that's why I've just been using the NYX to hydrate my face. But I might just like purchase the NYX primer spray from CVS so I can have something to like replace the Smashbox one. So anyway, and then I went in with the number 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation in the color Cool Vanilla, and then I concealed with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer in the color Fair Light. It's just one of my go-tos and I just love it so much, so I wanted to use it today. I was also kind of planning on filming today, but then I just didn't have time. And I thought my boyfriend was going to come here, but then I just ended up going to his house instead because I wasn't sure if my mom wanted him to come over. And since my sister's here now, like, Probably not. So, and then I set my face with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder Foundation in the color 2. And then I primed my eyes with the MAC Prime 24-hour base, and then went over that with the same Giorgio Armani powder. And then I went in mostly with the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I'm sorry, I'm just like really hungry. I went in with the shade Flower Child first as a transition shade, and then I darkened up the crease more with the shade Sweetheart right here. And then I went in with the shade Smarty Pants and Jet Setter just to darken up the crease. And then I just wanted to put a little bit of color on the outer corners, so I just went in with the shade Rebel right here. And then I didn't really want to use any of these on my lid, so I went in with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Lala on my lid. And then for the brow bone, I used this shade right here, which is called Charmer. I'm like shaking, so that's probably why it's probably because I'm so hungry. And then I concealed under my eyes with the Tarte concealer, and then I set that with the e.l.f. HD powder. And then I just smudged 2 colors underneath my lower lash line from the palette. I used the shades Smarty Pants and Jet Setter on the lower lash line, and then I highlighted the inner corners with Funny Girl. So I just really wanted to whip out this palette and use it again. And I also wanted to whip out my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow, so I used that on the lid. And I haven't used that in a while either. And then I went in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I bronzed up the skin with the Marc Jacobs Instamark Dreamer filter. And then I went in with the Tarte little point perk that I got from my birthday. And I used the blush that came with that. And it's in the shade Party. It's the Amazonian Clay Blush. And then for the highlight, I went with a drugstore highlight today because I've been wanting to use more of my drugstore highlighters. And I used the Milani Strobe Light Afterglow powder in the shade Afterglow. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And then I set my face with the Hourglass Ethereal Light powder. Then I set everything with the NYX Dewy Skin Mist. And then I brushed through my brows with a spoolie and then set them with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara. Brow mascara. And then for my lips, I primed them with the NYX lip primer, and then I just went in with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Color Splash lipstick in the shade Beach Babe because I just really wanted to use it, and that was it. So bye! Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I literally only worked for 3 hours. I didn't put my makeup on until like 4:30, and so I had it on for like, I've had it on almost 5 hours actually, so I had enough wear time, so I'm not really that bothered. I am so tired today though because my stupid brother was up early in the morning and woke everybody up. It drove me fucking crazy. This is what I was wearing like the last time when I recorded my Sephora sale haul, and they had called me out of work that day. So I wanted to wear it today so I could actually wear it to work again, and now I probably won't wear it to work again. I know this is so important. But I'm wearing the same eyeshadow palette as I wore in that video because I wanted to get actual wear out of it again. So anyway, I primed my face, and I'm like so tired right now, so I just want to record this and then watch a movie with my family because my sister's here because she has no heat or hot water in her apartment, so she came home yesterday, and since I got out of work mad early, I was supposed to do inventory, and I thought I was scheduled until 11, but they let me go at like 8:15 because it was so dead, and it's 9:15 right now. So anyway, I primed my face with the Smashbox Primer Water and the e.l.f. Mineral Primer. And then I went in with the Lancome 24-Hour Taint Idol makeup in the shade 210 Buff. And then I concealed with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color Light Beige. And then mixed that with the MAC Prime Radiant Rose. And then I set my face with the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder. And then I primed my eyes with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer because my MAC one is pretty much all the way used up, so I need to start using a new one because that one's basically gone. So I'm just going to be using my Wet n Wild one now. And then for the eyes, I went in with Beaches and Cream and Peach Smoothie as my transition shades by Makeup Geek. And then I went in with the NARS Narcissist Loaded Eyeshadow Palette today. So I just used a few shades from here. I went in with this shade first. I'm just going to read the names off of here. I believe this shade. I'm just going to point to them. The names are way too hard to pronounce. So I use this shade in my crease. Then I darken up the crease more with this medium tone brown. Then I use this dark brown on my outer corners. And then I went in with this shade all over my lid. And then I went in with this shade on my brow bone. So that's what I use mostly on my eyes. And then I line my, concealed under my eyes with the ColourPop concealer and the MAC Prep and Prime. And then I set that with the e.l.f. HD powder. And then I line my waterline with the Maybelline Skinny Gel Liner in the shade Brown. And then I smudged this color on my lower lash line from the NARS palette, and then I highlighted the inner corners with these two shades. I just mixed them together, and that's basically everything that I used from the palette. I really like this palette. I feel like the crease shades kind of fade a little bit, but I also think it's because of the eyeshadow primer that I used. That might be the reason why it's a little bit faded. But I mostly like the crease shades in here. Some of the lid shades aren't as pigmented as others. Like these two lid shades are gorgeous. This shade isn't too pigmented on my lid, and neither is this one. But these two shades are gorgeous on the inner corners. But I popped on a tiny bit of Makeup Geek's Rapunzel just to match up the inner corners a little bit better. And that was it. And then I went in with the Catrice Cosmetics mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And that was it for the eyes. Then I bronzed up the skin with the NARS Laguna bronzer. Then I went in with the Anastasia Radiant Blush Kit, and I used the two peachier shades in the kit, like the orangey shade and the more like darker kind of shade. I don't remember the names, but it's like the two like orangey shades in the palette. And then the highlight is the Maybelline Master Mega Glow by Face Studio, whatever it's called, in the shade Molten Gold. I love this highlighter. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm trying to go back to using some of my drugstore highlighters. And I love it, so I have to use it a lot more often this year. Then I went over everything with the Hourglass Ethereal Light Powder. Then I started everything with the NYX Dewy Skin Mist, and I just brushed through my brows with a spoolie and then set them with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara in the shade Light Brown. And then for my lips, I didn't prime them because I couldn't find my lip primer, so it's a little bit worn off, but I don't care. I'm taking it off anyway. So I just lined my lips with the, I know that looks pretty bad on the inside. I don't know why it kind of wore off a little bit. But I went in with the Kat Von D Everlasting Lip Liner in the shade Lolita, and then I went over it with the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Lulu, just because I really wanted to wear it today. It's one of my go-to nudes. So yeah, that's it. Bye! And I'm going to go watch a movie with my family, so bye. Okay, so hi, so just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I did go to happy hour with a couple of my girlfriends. I did tell you guys that I was going to be rescheduling that. So we went tonight, and we actually spent, like, a pretty long time there. We were there from 5:30, and now it's, like, almost 9:30. We were there at the restaurant until, like, 9 o'clock. Two of my friends left around, like, 8:20, 8:30, and then I stayed for, like, an extra half hour with my other friend until, like, 9. So I didn't get home until now. So I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look. So I got to do just a little bit of color today because I decided to wear my Frozen Elsa shirt. So I wanted to wear that finally for this winter. So I wore that to happy hour. And I'm a little bit tipsy. I'm not going to lie. I was going to film when I got home, but now I only want to do is take my makeup off and relax because I had 2 drinks because I had to finish my friend's drink, and they were like mixes of alcohol that you really shouldn't mix together. And the second drink has like a lot more alcohol in it than the first one. Like the first one I drank like no problem, like I was fine. But by the second one, there was a lot of alcohol in there. There's, excuse me, there's like tequila, vodka, etc. It's like so much stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to tell you guys my makeup look, and then I'm going to shut up and get off of here. So I primed my face with the, and I don't really care like how my makeup looks right now because I just want to take it off. So I primed my face with the Smashbox Primer Water and the Stila One Step Corrector. And then I went in with the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the color Warm Porcelain, which I love for full coverage looks. And then I concealed with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer in the color Fair Warm, which I also love. And then I set everything with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder, like pressed powder, in the shade Warm Light, just because I wanted like a really light dusting of powder. I didn't want anything too crazy because sometimes the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer can get a little bit dry on the nose, so it can break up a little bit and then make the T-zone a little bit drying, like over in this area as well. So I wanted something a little bit lighter to set my face. And then I primed my eyes with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation Primer, and then I set that with the same Wet n Wild powder. And then I went in with two palettes today. I decided to go in with a few shades from the ColourPop Dream Street Kathleen Lights palette, and then a couple of shades from the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. So I used these two palettes together because in the ColourPop Dream Street palette, it had a few matte shades that I wanted to use. And I kind of wasn't inspired by using the Kat Von D one, so I really wanted to use this one again. I have been using this palette so much. Like, I get anxiety if I don't use this palette. I really love this palette, and I used quite a few shades from the palette today. I used 1, 2, 3, like 4 shades. Actually, I used quite a bit. I actually used like 6 of them. So I started off with this shade in the crease, and this shade is called Magical. I think I won't be surprised if I might like make a pretty substantial dent in these. Just I really have been using this palette a lot since I first got it. I think this is like the 6th time that I've used it already, and I got it like 2 weeks ago, and I really love it. Like, I really love using this palette. It's really beautiful. I just really love this shade in the crease, so I used that shade first. And then I darkened up the crease more with Shooting Star, but mostly the reason why I used this palette is because I really wanted to use this shade in the crease as I'm getting it all over my hands. So I wanted to use this shade in the crease, and this one is called Water Bearer. It might have gotten a little bit transferred off because of the lid shades, but this was so beautiful in the crease, and I really love that shade. So I really wanted to use that because I thought it went really well with the look. And then for the outer corners, I did originally use this shade, which was called, or it's called Elfish, but it didn't show up too much, so I decided to go in with the Matte Black from the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette, and I used the shade Jet, which is right here, and this is one of my favorite blacks, so I used that one just to give the outer corners some depth. And then for the lid, I did originally want to go in with 2 shades. I used the shade Mermaid Boy on my lid first, but I wanted to lighten it up a little bit more because I thought that this shade was a little bit too dark mixed with Water Bearer because I felt like it got just a tiny bit lost. So I wanted to brighten it up a little bit more, but it was still gorgeous. So that's mostly what I used from the ColourPop Dream Street palette. And then I decided to, this was the original shade I was going to use anyway on the lid. So I wanted to go in with the shade Ignite, which is this shade right here from the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. And that's usually always the shade that I wear when I wear this shirt. So I wanted to go over it with that, and it looks so pretty. So I definitely love how that turned out. So I decided to use that on top. And then for the brow bone highlight, I just went in with the shade Bone from the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. And I only used 3 shadows from this palette, but I'm always grabbing for this palette when I decide to do like colorful looks lately. It's just like such a good palette. I love it, and I use this palette all the freaking time. I used this palette like the day before New Year's, so I decided to whip it out and just use a couple of shades again. I love it so much. And that was it for the top of the eyes. And then I lined my eyes with the Wet n Wild, what is it called? Photo Focus. I think like mostly everything is called Photo Focus. It's the felt tip eyeliner in the shade Black. And then for the under eyes, I went in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, and then I set that with the e.l.f. HD Powder. And then I just lined my waterline with the Maybelline Skinny Gel Liner in the shade Black. And then for the inner corners, I was going to use a shade from the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette, but I really wanted to use this shade right here from the ColourPop Dream Street palette. And that's the shade Kaleidoscope. It was just so pretty on the inner corners. So yeah, I used quite a bit from this palette, and I've been using a crap ton of shades from this palette, and I just really love it. So I really have been getting a lot of use out of it. I think it's just so pretty. I really didn't think I was going to use this palette too much because I thought that the colors were a little bit too weird. But, like, the color combos, like, I love the neutral shades. I think they're gorgeous. But I just thought that the color, like, the colors in this palette were a little bit weird, like, weirdly put together. But I actually use it a crap ton. So, yeah, I love this palette. I think it's so good. And I also love the Kat Von D palette. And then I went in with the Catrice Cosmetics mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And that was it for the eyes. And then I bronzed up my skin with the Galactic Cobble Bronzer. I just really wanted to use it today. I wanted to whip it out and use it. And then for the blush, I went in with the Urban Decay 8-Hour Afterglow Blush in the shade Fetish. I love with this blush, especially with like a mauve tone lip. It's one of my favorite blushes to wear with that. And then for the highlight, I used the Milk Makeup Holographic Powder Quad. And this is in the shade Space Jam. And there's 4 shades in here, so I wanted to use these to highlight my face. And I used the blue shade right here, and I used like kind of the green holographic dual chrome one. And these are really, really pretty. And I really liked how they looked on their own. But I just wanted to add just a little extra pop of highlight because you guys know I love a really intense highlight and I'm a crazy person. And these are beautiful, but I just wanted a little bit more of a pop. So I just decided to add a little bit of the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit shade in the shade Blue Ice. And I just went over that a little bit with that shade because I love that shade and I love that for a blue highlight. So I decided to just go over with that. And then a tiny bit of Star also from the Moonchild palette as well. And it just added what I needed. Like this was beautiful on its own, but I just wanted a little bit more and it looked beautiful. So... And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Ethereal Light Powder, and then I started everything with the Milani Prime Set and Correct Make It Last Setting Spray, and then I filled in my brows with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara, and then I just brushed them out with a spoolie, and then I put the brow mascara over it. And then for my lips, I primed them with the NYX Lip Primer, and then I lined them with the MAC lip pencil in the shade Dervish, and then I filled them in with one of my favorite liquid lipsticks this year. This is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Mega Last Liquid Lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. I love this lipstick. I honestly didn't even really prime, and this was still so comfortable and just so nice on the lips. It just has such a beautiful formula, so I really just wanted to wear it just for like a little bit of a subtle pink lip. Usually with like these type of looks, I wear like a purplish kind of lip or like a darker lipstick, but I just really wanted to, or like a mauve pink, but this pink was like perfect because it was like a very understated mauve pink. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I've been rambling for like 10 million years, but I'm gonna go tomorrow. I have work so at like 5, so yeah, that's pretty much it for now, so bye. Okay, so hey there guys, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. Just give me one sec. Okay, so I did work tonight, so I just wanted to do some natural makeup. So I primed my face with the Smashback Primer Water and the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. And then I went in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick Foundation. And this one's in the shade Y225. I did just finish recording another video. I started recording it before work, and then I finished it after work. So I'm a little bit out of breath. I don't know, I've just been out of breath today while I'm recording. But I tried this out again today. I do really like it. I didn't really see how my skin looks right now, so let me just grab a mirror because I don't know how I feel about it. So let's see if I can find a mirror in here. So let's see how it looks on my skin. I mean, I really like how it looks on my skin right now. I think because I wore a dewy primer that it looks like, I feel like I like it a little bit more, and I think I blended it out a lot better, but I can still see that it's not like super smooth on my skin. It looks beautiful on camera, but I don't know, it's not my favorite foundation, to be honest. I like it, but I don't know if I love it, but I'm still going to continue to try it out. But if I don't like it by the next couple times I try it out, I might return it and just like exchange it for the Lancome one. So we'll see. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've tried it out, so I'm not like completely in love with it. And then I concealed with the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage Concealer in the shade Porcelain. And then I'm surprised that I swatched on this hand because I usually always swatch on this hand, but for some reason I was swatching with my left hand tonight because I finished recording products I want to use up in 2018, so that's weird. And then I set my face with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder in the shade Warm Light. I probably should have used like a more pigmented powder so I didn't get as shiny, but I kind of like being dewy, so because I have dry skin anyway. And then I prime my eyes with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, and then went over that with the same Wet n Wild powder, and then I just went in with Makeup Geeks Beaches and Cream as my transition shade. And then I went in with the Dose of Colors Baked Browns eyeshadow palette today, and I used all of the shades. So I went in with the shade Deserted first on the crease, and I darkened up the crease more with Outdoorsy. Then I used Cherry Wood and Rock Bottom on the outer corners. And then for the lid shade, I literally have it right in front of me. I used ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Couche, and I just put that all over my lid, and I love it. I just really wanted to use it again. I was going to use newer products today because I ordered a couple of eyeshadows from ColourPop, and those are going to be the last ones that I order from ColourPop. I just really want to try the Supernova shadows, so I ordered 2 of those, and I ordered Lightning Bug, and that's the one that Kathleen Lights always talks about, and she loves it. But that was like the only Super Shock shadow that I had ordered. I was going to get the Yes Please palette, but I was like, I don't need another palette right now, and since I'm using the Kathleen Lights one so much, I don't really need that palette. So, I just wore this one today, and I also really love how it looked with my sweater, so that's why I'm happy that I used this one. But I wanted to try one of those today. I wanted to try one of the Supernova shadows, but the order never came today, so I guess it's coming tomorrow. And then for the brow bone highlight, I just went in with Tea Light, which is this shade right here, and that's everything I used from the palette. And then I concealed under my eyes with the Catrice Cosmetics Concealer, and then I set that with the e.l.f. HD Powder. And then I smudged Outdoorsy all over the lower lash line. And then I went in with the Maybelline Skinny Gel Liner in the shade Brown on the waterline. And then I highlighted the inner corners with Makeup Geeks Shimma Shimma and Rapunzel just to use those more. And then for my lashes, I went in with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara on the top. And then the Catrice Cosmetics Mascara on the bottom. Just because I find that the L'Oreal Lash Paradise kind of clumps up a little bit on the lower lash line. There was just a piece of fuzz on my computer. And then for the bronzer slash contour, I decided to contour a little bit today, and I used the Wet n Wild, the heck is it called? I think it's called Mega Glow Contouring Powder, and it's in the shade Dulce de Leche, so I used the contouring powder, and then I used the white powder to clean it up. They're just so pigmented. They're so pretty, though, so I just wanted to grab that and use it today. And then I went in with the Clinique Cheek Pop in the shade Nude Pop on my cheeks. And then I need to go grab the highlighting palette that I used. Give me 2 seconds. I forgot that I used a palette that doesn't have names. So I used the Cover FX Perfect Highlighting Palette today to highlight. I haven't used this in a while, so I wanted to use it today. Oh, they actually do have names. So I used 2 shades in here. I mixed 2 together. I used the shades... This one has to be Rose Gold, this one right here. So I mixed that one, and I mixed this one right here, which is called Golden Peach. I'm pretty sure those are the 2 shades. Because this one has to be Blossom, and this one has to be Prism. I just don't know how I feel about this palette. I mean, it is beautiful, as you guys can see on camera. But up close, I don't love how it looks. It just looks very texturized, and the only time that these are really, really pigmented is if you wet them. You cannot wear these dry because I find that they're very crumbly and they're not intense enough for me. Even more of my subtle highlighters I like more on my skin than these, so I'm going to continue to try it out, but if I don't love this, I might return it, but I haven't hauled it yet, so... But I don't know if I was thinking about returning this and exchanging it for something else, just because I did pick up so many highlighters in my last haul. But these are the only ones I didn't haul yet because these were from Ulta. So because this was an Ulta exclusive. But I'm going to continue to try them out and see how I feel about them. But for Ulta, they do have a shorter return policy than Sephora, so I have to make a decision sometime soon. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Ethereal Light Powder, and I set everything with the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. Then I brushed through my brows with a spoolie and then set them with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara. And then for my lips, I went in with the MAC Lip Pencil in the shade Strip Down. Then I went in with the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade L. And then I topped them off with the Becca Lip Topper, Crystal Lip Topper in the shade Champagne Dream times Bellini. I didn't wear a lip primer, and my lips are not dry at all, but also because I'm, like, so lazy to wear a lip primer, and it wasn't in my bathroom, so I just, like, haven't been reaching for it lately, but I'm almost done with it anyway, so it's not a big deal. But these are, like, really hydrating on the lips, the lip glosses. It's not my favorite lip gloss because it's not, like, shiny enough for me over lipsticks. I mean, it's still glossy, but I thought it was going to be more glittery, but it seems to be more glittery on its own, and that's what I've heard is that you can just wear them on their own. But you guys know I really don't wear lip glosses on their own because I have too many lipsticks, so I just wear them over lipsticks. And I've been really into that lately, but I do like this. I just don't love the scent that much. And I love these Lime Crime Velveteen nude lipsticks. They're so beautiful. And they have such a beautiful formula. But that's it. I need to go because I'm, like, out of breath. So bye. Okay, so hi. So I just wanted to tell you about my super simple makeup look for today because I was actually supposed to work today. And I was literally all done with my makeup, was about to put my lipstick on, get my sandwich, and go to work. And my phone was in my room charging, so I didn't see that I received phone calls. And for some reason, the phone calls didn't go through on my computer because I had my computer in my bathroom while I was getting ready and I was watching It's Always Sunny because I wanted to watch a couple of episodes before I went to work because I was out pretty late last night. And I will tell you guys about last night when I tell you guys about my makeup yesterday. I feel like my inner corner highlight. Oh, actually, look, it looks okay, I guess. Just, like, drives me crazy when it's uneven. But I just don't care today because I'm just going to my boyfriend's house because I ended up not working. They called me at, like, 1:55. And then they called, let's see, like, oh, my phone is right next to me. Like, literally right next to me. And I'm looking for it back there because that's usually where it is. They called me at... info. They called me at 1:55 and they called me again at 2:23. And they were claiming that they called me like an hour and a half before I came in. And they left me a voicemail and of course told me that I didn't have to come in. And then they called me one more time to see if I was going to call back. And then I called back at 2:30 because I left my phone in my room because I needed to charge it. And they told me, yeah, you don't have to come in today. And I told them, I'm like, hey, you know, it's kind of annoying that, like, I keep on getting called out all the time. And then my manager got on the phone and said, hey, like, it's not, like, our fault and blah, blah, blah. And it's just annoying. So I'm supposed to work tomorrow and Monday. But if they call me out tomorrow and Monday, I'm going to be really pissed. And I don't know if I should find something else because this is starting to get really annoying and on my nerves, but I don't want to say like too much, but since it's January and it's really slow and this is literally the month where I could make some money before I go back to school, I'm really hoping that they don't schedule me after my classes on Mondays and Wednesdays because honestly, Mondays and Wednesdays this time, I'm going to be completely unavailable. I need time to do my homework. I need time to study, and I really just want to really get into school mode next semester and really like bust my ass. So I still have another 2 weeks or so, and I told them I want to work as much as possible. So yeah, anyway, my boyfriend ended up not coming out with us yesterday because he didn't really answer me. So I texted him today and I was like, hey, I'm not working again today. If you want me to come over, I can. Just letting you know because we weren't really like getting along yesterday. And he said, yeah, sure, come over. So I'm just going to go to his house. So anyway, I just did a super simple makeup look for today. So I just concealed with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Erase. Now he's texting me and he's throwing me off. I concealed with my Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in the shade Fair. And then I just set my under eyes with the e.l.f. HD powder under and he's being such an ass. I'm sorry. Now, of course, he's texting me. So I went in with the e.l.f. HD under eye setting powder under my eyes and on my eyes because I just concealed there because I wasn't going to put eyeshadow primer on. And then I just set my face with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus pressed powder in the shade Warm Light. And then I just went in with eyeshadow. I just went in with my eyeshadows from Makeup Geek. I just didn't really care what eyeshadows I was wearing today, just as long as I was wearing them. So I just went in with my go-to shades. I'm really trying to work on hitting pan on certain shades or hitting more pan on them. So I figured just to use those shades today because I really want to use them more often. And they're pretty much my go-tos when I just want to do natural makeup. So I just used Beaches and Cream first, then I darkened up the crease more with Creme Brulee, then I used Frappe to define the crease, and then I just went in with Shimma Shimma on the lid, and then I went in with Vanilla Bean on the brow bone. I use Shimma Shimma so much on the lid sometimes, like, because I just didn't feel like using anything else. It's so weird, because it's like, you have to be in, like, a certain mood to use certain eyeshadows sometimes, and I wore my Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette today, with my Kat Von D Metal Crush shadow on the lid, and then of course I ended up not working, so it's not like I was going to keep that on, but I did wear makeup all week this week, so to wear like a chill, laid back makeup look isn't like too much of a big deal. And then I just went in with mascara. I just went in with the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara on the top and bottom lashes, and the thing is that I actually do love this mascara. The only reason why it wasn't in my 2017 favorites is because it transfers like crazy if you don't let it completely dry. It did completely dry today, and now it looks totally fine, but it is like my go-to mascara when I wear natural makeup. It's like always the mascara I wear usually because I had to get rid of my, oh my god, is this going to drive me crazy? I had to get rid of my L'Oreal mascara, my telescopic, because it was getting too old, but I have to go replace that at some point, so, but I'm strictly on a no-buy for makeup for mostly the rest of the month, until my boyfriend gets me my gift card to Sephora, for Christmas. I'm just waiting for him to get more money, and then we can both get Christmas presents for each other. And then for my blush, I just went in with the MAC Real Skin Finish blush in the shade Warm Soul because I am working on trying to hit pan on that this year. So I just used that. And then for the highlight, I didn't decide to use a Becca highlighter because I used Champagne Pop yesterday. I just wanted to go in with one of my favorite highlighters for no makeup looks. And every time I wear this highlighter, it's so pretty. This is the Laura Mercier Baked Highlighter in the shade Highlight 01. It is just so gorgeous. Like, it gives you such a beautiful highlight without being too intense, but it's there, and it's just so pretty on the skin, so I just wore that. I almost wore the Fenty Beauty highlighter. I wore the Milk Makeup highlighters today with, like, the Becca one underneath, but the Becca one wasn't enough. It was the Light Chaser highlighter. So I put it over it, and it looks so pretty, but I guess I'm just going to wear that a different day to work. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Ethereal Light Powder. Then I set everything, I actually didn't spray. So I'm just going to set my face with the NYX Dewy Skin Mist. I forgot to spray my face. And then for my brows, I just brushed them through with a spoolie and then went in with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Mascara. Why can't I speak? The Brow Stylist Mascara in the shade Light Brown or whatever. And then for my lips, I didn't go in with lip liner or lip primer at all. I just went in with the ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Oh Snap all over my lips because as long as I wear a lipstick, it's not really a big deal if I don't wear a lip liner. So I haven't worn this in a while, so I really wanted to wear it today. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. And now I can't remember what it was. It was something about a highlighter, I think. Now I can't remember, so I'm just gonna go. I'm super tired. It was so awesome going out with my best friend yesterday, though. I really needed that, and it was really fun. But yeah, I'm just gonna go. Bye!